Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast, a virtual firehouse kitchen table with What's a Rolfie, Unky, Fireman 1231, JDB Cubed, and Fireman Freddy. Let's get to the show.
Welcome back to the Cool Fireman Podcast. Today we have an amazing guest on. Russell from Westbroad Apparel is on with us today on the podcast. We're excited to hear about what he's got going on in his neck of the woods. So everybody, give a round of applause for Russell. What's going on, Russell? How are you?
Little fireworks.
Little fireworks. Everybody's clapping in their car for you right now, by the way, Russell.
Yeah. No, what's up, guys, man? Appreciate y'all having me on for real, man. This is my first podcast, so this is going down in the history books.
All right. Well, we love cherries. And so we got Anki here. We got obviously me, and we got Fireman Fred, along with our special guest. A couple little housekeeping items that we've got is Taylor Tins. We mentioned it last week on Friday that that wrapped up. We sold 40 tins. We're donating, or I should say Taylor is donating in our name to the First Responders Children's Foundation, $400. So everybody that contributed to that, thank you so much. We realize, we're a new podcast. We're trying to get out there. And a part of that is sharing that with your friends, buying apparel. We have thecoolfireman.com where we have some really cool mugs. F your day off, forget your day off. We got some t-shirts. We got more stuff coming. All great stuff, including today's podcast, because that's why you're here. So welcome. And like I said, we got Russell here. He is a current full-time firefighter. We're going to find out where. And also that he has started his entrepreneurial, is that how you say it? Entrepreneurial quest, we should say, with his apparel company, Westbroad. And they make hats and all kinds of great stuff. And we're going to find about that. Russell, where are you working right now?
Yeah, man. So I live in Greenville, South Carolina. And I am currently working for a county department called Belmont Fire Department. A little bit on the smaller side. We cover about 9 square miles. Just a one truck station. But it's home, man. It's that small town feel, I spent 8 years at the city of Greenville, though. If you've ever been to South Carolina, you've probably heard of Greenville. Mm-hmm. Awesome experience there. Gained a lot of experience. And back last year, I actually got out of the fire service for about 6 months to try to run the business full time. And after about 6 months, I was like, man, being a full-time business owner is just not how I want to do life. It wasn't a money thing or anything like that. I just missed the fire service, bro. I missed I genuinely feel like that was the calling that was put on my life to be a fireman. And in between those 6 months, getting back in the fire service, man, is where, I really connected with how passionate I am about entrepreneurship in the fire service, man. We've just got a beautiful setup to make as much money as you want, man, while still doing the job we love, still having your brothers, still all that vibe that comes with the fire service, right? So yeah, that's
awesome.
Kind of where I'm at right now.
So 9 square miles, you have one house.
It's just one house, man. We got a lot of trucks.
What's your guys' population there?
I don't know exactly. That's
the only reason I ask is because we're about 9 square miles where I work, and we're like around 24 to 25,000. But the topography of our town is like, we go from sea level to 1,000 feet. The top of the world is what we call it. And we have 4 stations. And so I'm just like, whoa, compared to one station, it's quite a bit for the same relative amount of area. So.
It is. So like we are, we're right on the edge of the city limits. And then we've got multiple county departments that surround us as well. So I definitely don't think we're in that ballpark as far as population goes. It's a special purpose district. So I don't know. Now you got my brain wondering. I want to look into that and see what our population is out there. But it's the dynamic with that station, man, is like, we're one truck, but bro, you get a lot of experience with that, man. I mean, because you got to pony up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah. We're speaking the same language. We don't have a truck in our town, and so we've got ladders and we've got saws on all of our frontline engines. So it's like shit hits the fan, and we're there we got to figure it out because we're basically on a peninsula and we're waiting for Big Brother to come help us out. But
yeah, I mean, my last department, man, you pull up on a wreck, you got entrapment. We're waiting on a rescue truck, right? Like, not no more. Now it's like the thing is, in 8 years, like I'd barely. I was a hazmat guy, and so you can go ahead and boo that if you want to.
Nick's a hazmat guy.
Yeah. So I stayed away from the rescue trucks, and so this literally happened a few weeks ago. We pulled up on scene, needed some extrication, and I was like, I haven't touched one of these things in a while, other than training, right? Like, try to refresh on it with training, but man, it's different. It's different in them small town vibes, man.
Yeah. But you mentioned that you took about 6 months off, right? Is that what you said?
I did, yeah. My original business partner, the basement that I'm in, which is still our original shop we started in, he was getting out of the fire service to pursue something else, and then it just been nagging at me, man. Like, Westbroad was getting to a really great place, and I was in one of those moments, and it's kind of crazy that at 35 it hit me this way, but like I remember some older guys along my way that were like, man, I wish I'd have done this, or I wish I'd have tried this. And I was like, I don't want to have that regret, right? Like, I don't want to wake up 20 years from now and be like, man, what if I'd have just went full time with Westbroad, or what if I'd have, tried getting into some other business ventures. And so for me, it was kind of checking that box of like, no regrets, you know what I'm saying? Like, I went for it. It did fine, like, bills were getting paid and making good money. But it was just internally something was missing, man. I was like, this just is. Yeah. I don't know.
Did you come up with the name Westbroad?
So no, I didn't. It's actually a really cool story. So, the Westbroad station in downtown Greenville was the original, station one. They called it the Westbroad station. It was downtown. And the cool thing about it is, the department at the time, they'd gotten together and they were actually going to start a Fools chapter. They were going to call it Westbroad Fools. My business partner at the time, his grandfather actually worked in the Westbroad station, bro. So like, he kind of brought it to me when we were thinking about the name, and he was like, but before you can start using this, like, we need to go to these dudes in our department that's wanting to use it as a Fools chapter name, and like, you just need to make sure they're good with it. Coolest thing ever, man, is like, I ran it through all these guys. These were like, in my opinion, some of the heavy hitters we had at the city at the time, like call them the 1%ers, call them whatever you want. Like, you know who I'm talking about. And every single one of them was like, man, we'd love for you to use it. And right then and there, I was like, yeah, because I could have called it hosehat.com, right? And super cheap and generic. And as a matter of fact, I own that. I own hosehat.com, just in case anybody wants to try to come after what I do. But I set out in the beginning to be a brand, man. The fire service, we do kind of have our brands out there that we kind of know, like, like Globe, and you pick them. Right. But like, bro, I just set out to be like, I want to be the Nike for the fire service. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I want people to see that WB and know that it means something, other than just, oh, you can get a cool hat from him. And I've just always kept that in the forefront, man. And it's paid off. It's been a cool ride the last 4 years with it.
What type of apparel do you do, or what do you not do? Do you do like shirts and everything else, or is it just hats?
Yeah. So, what started it all, man, was most of us firemen have had some kind of side gig, right? Like, and for me back in the day, I was like, I'm not going to be another fireman that cuts grass. Like, I just can't do it. Nothing wrong with that. If you're out there and you cut grass on the side, like, bro, get after it. There's nothing wrong. I wanted
the old green feet.
Yeah, no doubt. And I dabbled in sales on the side and all this. And so, all of us firemen love hats. Hats are my thing. Hats have been a thing for me since middle school. And so the idea came about, which that's a cool story we can get into in a little bit, but I just ran with it, man. And I was like, let's just see if this takes off. Let's start it with hats. I had the cool idea for the hose hat. And bro, if you would have told me 4 years ago, Russell, this silly little idea that you have that you figured out how to do in a spare bedroom in your house is gonna take you to some crazy places, meet some crazy people, and make you some money, I would have been like, man, you're freaking crazy. There's no way. But it just took off, dude. It just took off, and we've grown from that. Like, we started out with just hats. We were just strictly hats, with our hose hat and our shield hat that we offer. And then along the way, like I say, I've been trying to, build us as a brand. So we've got shirts on the website. We've stepped into the coffee mug world. We're actually, you guys are going to be the first kind of way we drop this a little bit. We're working right now on coffee. So we're going to roll out our own coffee line coming up.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know it's not apparel, but I'm like, bro, we all drink coffee, so this is gotta happen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's just kind of migrated into other things. It's just, yeah, it's been cool.
So let's pivot for a minute. You and I had a nice phone conversation a couple weeks back, and one thing that I gathered from you on that conversation is how passionate you are about entrepreneurship and inspiring other first responders, firefighters, even police officers, EMTs, paramedics, what have you, into starting their own side business, doing this, and letting them know that it's not that big of an undertaking. You can start something small and build it up like you did with Westbroad. So touch on that for a few minutes, if you.
Yeah, man. I mean, right. Like, there's a stigma with firemen, EMS, that we're all broke, right? Like, it's no secret. It doesn't matter where you're at in the country. We don't get paid that well. And for the most part, we all know what we're signing up for. My goal when I think about entrepreneurship in the fire service is to eradicate that, because, bro, I'm telling you, and this is a little harsh, so bear with me when I say this, but like, I have no sympathy for a broke fireman, right? Because, bro, take me, for instance. We're 24/48. We're about to go 48/96 literally in 2 weeks, which I cannot wait. It's going to be freaking awesome. And it's even more awesome for people like me, because I run a business on the side. But like, you're literally given the opportunity for, whether it's 48 hours or 96 hours off, to do whatever you want, bro. Like, you can, and there's nothing say if your life situation is funded by your fireman's salary and maybe your wife's salary, like, don't feel like you have to do it. But like, bro, if funds are low, go get it, man. You know what I'm saying? And like, the thing I've learned is, bro, I'm a redneck from Pelzer, South Carolina. Right? That's the best way I know how to put this. I did not go to college. Nobody in my family's ever owned a business, or a successful one, at least. I learned all this on my own, man. And I say that, not egotistically, but like, I say that from a point of like, bro, as long as you got the willingness to learn, we literally, there's my shop hand, he's a 17-year-old kid. We actually just launched his business about 4 weeks ago now. 17 years old, man. And he knows the one rule that I have when it comes to in this shop, when we're dealing with his business, is like, do not ever tell me that you cannot do something. We live in a world with these little things right here that if you want to know something and you want to know how to do it, instead of scrolling TikTok, get on YouTube and figure out what you got to do. Like, oh, well, and I've heard all the excuses, right? When firemen friends or acquaintances have come up like, man, I want to start a business, but I don't know how. Bruh, for real? Did you know how to put a fire out the first time you showed up on scene and like had never touched a fire hose before? Like, all these tools, man, that we pick up along the way in our career, bro, it coincides beautifully with business. Businesses in their first 2 years, man, there's a kind of a golden rule out there. Like, it's either make or break after that 2 year mark. People say a lot of businesses fail after 2 years. when I got to that 2-year mark, I could see exactly why that happens, right? You get bombarded with like, are we making money, or is this worth the time? What else do we need to do? And dude, it's literally no different than a fire scene. The fire's got to be put out. What do you got to do to make that happen? You got to use this thing right here inside your brain, and you just go to work. Like, just make it happen. Dude, no different in business, bro. And it is a beautiful really not a whole lot of people know this. I'm currently working on a book that I plan to put out there. I own the rights to the name and all that, so I can kind of put this out there, but it's the Firefighter Entrepreneur. I want to be able to, not just the book, and it's not a sales tactic, but I want to be able to go to, well, I'll ask you guys, you guys have probably been to a lot of conferences. How many conferences have you been to related to the fire service where you could go sit down and take a 1-hour lesson about your days off with the fire service?
0.
No.
I don't know of one, and I've been to quite a few conferences.
They almost want you to put more time into the job.
Yeah, like this is kind of funny, and this is no offense to anyone that teaches like a standpipe class, but like, bro, there's only so many hours you can go sit in front of somebody and listen about a standpipe and like what's changed about it, and like, yeah, it's still a metal pipe with water running through it. I make that sound funny. There's still a lot you can take from a standpipe class. Don't be wrong. But bro, it's like, we need to start showing up at these conferences and talking about, hey man, what's your mental health look like on your days off? Are you treating yourself like you should be? Are you, what's your financial situation looks like? Well, guess what? You can fix it. You can fix it if you've got the go-to and the know-how and the willingness to learn, so to speak. So I know it's kind of loaded. I know there's a lot, but that's just, I don't know, man. That's kind of how I've grown to feel about it over the last few years.
I love your passion, man. So there's a company where I live in San Diego. They started in San Diego. So I'm not going to mention the name because they're not paying us anything. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a local sunglass company. It's gone huge.
Yep.
And the reason why they've gone so big, in my opinion, is because, you buy a pair of sunglasses, and they're not owned by Luxottica, so like Oakley and all these big companies that are owned by one conglomerate, they can charge $200, $300 for a pair of sunglasses. You can get a pair of polarized sunglasses for $40 or $50 from this company. They're local in San Diego. And when you buy a pair of their sunglasses, like this, and it's probably not directly from the CEO, but they send you an email saying, hey, thanks for being part of the clan. And they make you feel included. It's like this small, you want to just like, I just want to like buy more sunglasses just to support them.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel with you. And I'm telling you right now, like the first thing I do when we get off here is I'm buying some hats. I've got, for my crew, we could put Station 1, whatever it is. I think that the hat that you even have on is freaking awesome. I love your passion, dude, and the no regrets.
No regrets, dude.
Dude, okay, so
going on the arm right here.
That was popping through my head. Man, this has to be part of the promo. We've got to cut in that spot from We're the Millers, where it's like, no regrets.
Yeah.
Not even one letter.
Yeah.
Not even one.
Dude, I love your, there's just the passion.
Yeah.
On the West Coast, I can't say that we get, I don't know about everybody else in the country. We get compensated pretty well. And you're right, though. The fire service has come from the baby boomers time when, they weren't getting paid that well. So they were all carpenters or, whatever. They were doing tile or stairs or some sort of, construction work on the side to make money. But now, it's like you work in overtime, you make a time and a half. You're working 24 hours. You're away from your family for a whole nother day. But there's really nothing that can beat like, a paycheck from a day of overtime. And so that's really kind of gone down it's turned, if you will. It's gone away from that. But the one thing that you don't necessarily get from that, besides being on the job as a firefighter, is the like purpose or the fulfillment from being at home. Because sometimes, like as a firefighter, you'll come home, and I don't know how you guys feel. I don't know if we've talked about this, but sometimes like when I'll come home, like my wife basically take care of everything with the kids. She knows where everything is. And it's like, man, I'm just trying to fit into
what am I doing here?
Yeah. Like, what am I doing with my hands? Like, I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. And so I try to figure out my purpose at home. Obviously, it's a father and a husband, but it's like, where do I fit into that thing? But you have created this job. You've created this job that's given you a purpose outside of the fire service, because our purpose in the fire service is already immense. Like, it's crazy. And you had mentioned that you took 6 months off. I did the same thing. I had to take 6.5 months off due to a medical injury. And when I got back, I didn't realize how much I missed the job until I was back. Like, and the passion that firefighters have for our job is insane. And I've told multiple people at my job, like, I wish that I could impart what I know now on you. I want you to take 6 months off and feel what it's like to not be a firefighter for 6 months. And then you're going to be like, you come back and it's like a whole nother brand new feeling that I have now as a firefighter. So, and it takes that type of person, in my opinion, like you, to start something on the side and have the same amount of passion for your new venture, if you will.
Yeah. And I can't say all that without saying that, because I feel like you're 100% spot on everything you said. A lot of the things what I've encountered a lot, especially in the last year, man. And I don't know what you guys are like on the West Coast, but over here on the East Coast, things like, and I talk to a lot of departments, man, like, it's morale is always an issue and things like that. And so it's so easy. Right. And I'm guilty of this. I did it last year, man. Morale was kind of low at the department. I didn't feel like I was happy, or I convinced myself I wasn't happy. And so, like, I started looking at my business basically to replace the fire service, right? To get out. And what I realized very quickly is that is the wrong attitude. That is the wrong attitude. And I'm going to tell you why. And I've actually had some corporate America people tell me this. We not only do we have the luxury of, business wasn't good this week, we still got a paycheck and insurance. We also have the beauty of, okay, so today and yesterday, I'm in my shop getting ready to go to a conference. We're busting out hats as soon as I get done with y'all. But bro, I get to go to the firehouse tomorrow. I get to shoot shit around a coffee table, about like we're doing right now. And I get to take a break from it. I get to take a break from the grind. And guess what? My customer base appreciates that. If hats take a while, like, I'm straight up with you. If you email me asking where a hat's at, I'm like, bro, look, I'm a full-time fireman trying to make this happen, and I do my best. And it goes over well because they understand. And that's, so the point to that is, like, the goal should never be to replace your job at the fire service, man, because that's the wrong attitude. You'll end up having the wrong attitude towards your business eventually. Because it is just such a beautiful setup, man, to not only be a fireman, but to be a business owner and a fireman.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you say that, like, you're able to take a break from your side job and go to the firehouse. Like, then after your 48 hours, you're able to take a break from the firehouse. Like, you're recharged. You've been gone for 48. Like, all right, I'm back ready. Let's design some hats. Let's design some shirts, whatever. You take your 96, you work hard, and then you're like, all right, man, now I'm ready to just go have some coffee and not do anything. Yep. Like, it's almost like that perfect ebb and flow.
Yeah, it is, dude. It's
and only our job allows that.
Yeah. The only one that I can think, I mean, there may be some other jobs out there that work on a schedule like ours. I don't know. I haven't really researched that, but
I got to admit, 24/48, that sounds brutal, by the way.
So what do you guys work?
We work 4-4-6. So we work 4 days on with days off in between. So we call it a Kelly schedule out here.
Okay. We've got
yeah. So I think that's pretty universal. I've used that word too many times in the last 2 podcasts, but yeah, we work days on, 4 of them with days off in between. And then we get 4 days off in a row. Same thing, 4 days on with days off in between. We get 6 days off in a row.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. 24/48 does kind of suck, right? Because, like, you go in for 24 hours. Let's say you have a hella shift. You're spending that very next morning trying to get over that or whatever. Half of us, even if we're up all night, we're not going to go get.
Yeah, it's a whole episode in itself. Shift hangover,
dude.
Oh, yeah.
Shift hangover.
But over here on the East Coast, where I'm telling you, it is spreading like wildfire. It's crazy the amount
Easy with the wildfire. He lives in California.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
dude. I just got PTSD.
My bad. I know nothing about that. We're
just heard the tones.
But 48.96 is what everybody's talking about. Everybody's trying to. I can't wait to experience it because I just know, bro. yeah, I know that that's going to be a really cool setup. It's going to be great for just the mental health part of it, bro. Like you literally get to feel like a human again, like, you don't feel like you're just constantly going right back to work or you're constantly at work. So
you're 48.96, aren't you?
We're actually 48. We only have 2 shifts because we're the federal government.
Okay.
It's law that everybody has to have at least 3 shifts. So do what I say, not what I do.
Right.
So, but our schedule is 48 on, 48 off, and we have basically a Kelly Day system.
Yep.
And we have 4-day breaks and 8-day breaks. But with staffing being so low, we are 72-24.
Okay.
And we've been like that for the past 3 years. And the 2 years before that, we were 120 hours on, 24 hours off.
Sweet. What department is that?
I'm a civilian firefighter for the Department of the Navy.
Oh, sweet. That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, we're all having shortage staffage across the DoD, Army, Air Force, and of course the Navy.
Yeah, bro, the civilian side's hurting with it too.
So, can you relate to Russell with what he's saying about the entrepreneurship, since you run a very successful seasoning business?
Yeah, I totally get it. It's like right now I'm on day 1. I'm a 4-day break, and so I'm be working on some products today. I'm doing this. And it's nice when you go to the firehouse and you just take a break.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got a whole new group of adults and people to talk to.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. Not having to deal with emails about where's my order? Where's my hat? Or...
Hey, Russ. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dunk.
I was like, I like it. So I get your break, and I get to work on some other part of my business at peace, stuff that I want to take time doing. I don't have to worry about rushing, putting orders together, products together. I'm at the firehouse if I want to do my personal business. It's just, little stuff.
Yep.
Russell, you like spice?
I do, man. I'm a spice guy.
You gotta get yourself some Coastal Cajun.
All right, Coastal Cajun.
I'm sure he's got one right within reach, don't you?
Yeah.
He just moved.
You shake it up like candy, like
I put some. Hey, I just made that Tuscan chicken on TikTok. I put the which one did I put? I put the Chipotle.
Yes, I saw that video and I was like, man, I saved it,
dude. It turned out good.
That looks really good.
Get yourself some Coastal Cajun, man. I love it on corn on the cob, dude. It's killer.
That does sound good.
Hey, Russell, what sells best out of your shop? You got like one thing that just like kills it? It's like or is it all just kind of all over the place?
The hose hat, man, is like it's my baby, and it
and we can put anything on it, right? You can customize it. How does that work?
I brought this to work with me today. This was actually the very first one I ever made. So
266.
You can see how janky this thing was.
It looks great.
My buddies used to tell me, like, bro, did you put that thing together with Elmer's glue? Like, what the hell happened here? Back in the day, right? I used to when I used to make these things, like I would stitch it all out and I would literally cut this out by hand and like try to put it in my hat.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It was insane, bro. We've come a long way. Like I've really tried my best to make them look good, and but everybody loves them, man. And it's been a cool ride with that. In the fire service alone, like I'm thankfully I have good working relationships with a lot of firefighter owned apparel companies. You got like Axe Head Threads, you've got, you pick it, man. Like we've dealt with most of them, and the cool thing about the fire service is like there's that unspoken respect, right? Because like any of these dudes could, kind of pick up on what I'm doing, and they could have just started making it themselves and all that. And it's just like for 4 years now, man, like we're still the only ones that make this thing, and we're recognized by it, which is awesome. And like I was at a vendor's night the other night, and I was like, he gave me the mic and I was talking about Westbroad, and I was like, and by the way, if it doesn't have the WB on the side, it's the Walmart brand. So make sure you get you come get the Nike version, if you will.
Yeah.
But,
so people just go on your website and they could put in like a whatever their picture is or their
yeah, man. So literally about 3 weeks ago, we just rolled out our new customizer on our website, which is kind of a really cool story in itself. It's a short story, but Melco is a company who they manufacture embroidery machines. Not to geek out on that and whatever, but I've got commercial grade embroidery machines, and they've been working on something for like 3 years to where, so if you guys come to the website right now and I say you want an Engine 7 hat, you build it on the website, make it look pretty. Well, used to, you would buy that, and then I have to go in and digitize it. It takes forever, and then it finally goes to the machine. Well, they actually developed a system where when you place the order, what you see is what you get. That file comes directly to me, goes straight to my machine, bada bing, bada bing. We're actually the only ones, which is really cool. We're the only ones in the country right now in beta using it right now. And so, yeah, that's just how it works, man. You come on there, you customize it. It sends me, what you put in front of us, and you
Do you guys use a specific hat brand? Like, what's your favorite hat?
I try, man. If everybody's kind of been dealing with the repercussions of 2020 and COVID and all that. Listen, Richardson is what started my company. I love Richardson hats.
They have blown up.
But there's been times, especially over the right around that 2020, 2021 era, bro, if you told me you'd give me $100 for a Richardson hat, there's nothing I could do about it. It's just like they pulled the rug out from under everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on in the background right now, but it's slowly going back to that, like where I could get 1,000 Navy hats last month. Now they maybe only have 10 that I can get. And that's even going directly through Richardson. I mean, we've got an account directly with them, and I don't know what's going on. But long story short, if it's not a Richardson, I try my best to find. If I wouldn't put it on my head, I'm not going to send it to somebody. So, it might not have that Richardson sticker, but we use like Yupong 6606 a lot, which is, man, to me, I actually think it's a little bit more comfortable than a Richardson. But the goal this year, though, I'm really working on this hard, and this is proof and everything I've been talking about, is I'm actually trying to go straight to the source. I want a hat coming in my shop that's got Westbroad all on the inside of it, like, that I've actually sat back and helped design and create and just kind of cut out that, I want to be a self-sustaining, brand eventually. So there's a lot that goes into that. I'm working on the back end trying to get that done, but hopefully this time next year, that's a reality.
Yeah, sure.
Super rad. That is awesome. That's a great story, buddy.
Yeah.
We're proud of you. I'll definitely be an owner of a Westbroad hat here pretty soon.
Me too. I already made an order.
Yeah, yours is actually sitting behind me. It's going to be headed out today, as a matter of fact. So
can I see it?
Yeah, I was the patch. I'm gonna unveil the patch, and I've got something. I got something to unveil to all of you guys.
Oh,
that I made just for today.
I like that hydrant T-shirt.
I bought one of those.
A hydrant tee. Well, for Mr. Freddie, this is the uncut version. It's not been cleaned up yet, but that's you. Here in a little bit.
Love it.
Then I've got one of these ready to come out to each of you guys, but we played around with your logo a little bit and put that on some leather.
Oh, sweet.
Is that not sexy? That is like I'm making myself one as so.
Dude, that is so sick.
Oh, yeah, so you guys, you should have my email. Make sure you each shoot me an email with your address, and I'll get these headed to y'all. But yeah, I thought you would like that. So
is that like laser? So how does that do? Is that laser?
Yeah, so
leather.
We offer a shield hat too, which is where we actually take, we try to replicate the shield on your helmet, right? So you can come to the website, customize it, right? And then that's what we do. We take the info you give us. I've got a laser engraver. We go over there, etch it out, make it look sick, try to match your shield on your helmet, and turn out some cool stuff with that. We also too, if there's any firemen listening to this podcast that
hopefully there are.
Yeah. Well, any that are business owners, I'm sorry. Hopefully there are a lot of firemen. But if there are any that are business owners, man, like hit us up about that too, man. Like if you got a business, you got a logo, bro, we can throw it on some sick hats. We even offer we can get them screen printed on some shirts or whatever you might need, man. Like if you're an owner out there and you need some swag for your business, man, we got you covered. So
sweet. Russell has gotcha.
Yeah, man.
Have you been in contact with different like chiefs and stuff like that about getting your hat written into like uniform policies and stuff like that? Being able to.
I haven't really been approached with it yet. At this point, man, we're in all 50 states, and there are departments that continually come back to us. But to my knowledge, I don't know that we're in anyone's policy yet. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, old Taylor's 10, he's gotten into some like that, right? Like he's gotten into some other policy.
Just got into Cal Fire.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's huge. Like that's pretty wild. I've been asked that before. Like, what if FDNY called you and was like, we're making this a policy. You got to figure out how to make what are they up to? Are they like
a couple thousand, I think, right?
Or, I don't even know. I said 10,000. It might be 2,000 or 3,000, but it's like,
whoa. Oh no, their department has got to be 4,000 or 5,000 firefighters at least.
I thought so. I thought it was a big number.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, even Doug's, big department. Since he's not here, I mean, we could, he's got a big department that he.
Yeah, we got to remind the listeners that he does have the biggest department.
Well, see, and that's why. If you noticed on the patch that I designed, I put Freddie and then 80 because that's my badge number. Because I know a lot of people, you might get assigned to a truck like Nick. I think is on like engine 5 or something like or hazmat 4, whatever he's on.
Yeah.
For us, every shift I'm on a different truck. I could be at a different station because we're only 4.7 square miles.
Right.
So. For me, like I'd have to buy like 7 hats if I was going to wear like my engine 2, my rescue 2, my ladder 1. Yep. So having that availability to be able to just like for me, Freddie 80, and probably can't wear it on shift, but I'm going to rock that thing on my entrepreneurial off days.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've tried in the past, man, we've tried to work with like Velcro, right? So that, in a case just like what you said, right? Like
like a passport pass.
Yeah, and the only thing with that, man, I'm super picky, with hats, obviously, because I started a company. But I haven't found the solution yet, and I know you guys are probably familiar with it. But the Velcro patch hats, man, it's like the patch sits a mile off the hat because Velcro is just so freaking thick, man.
Yeah, the pull patch, the PVC pull patches or whatever. Yeah.
It is, man, and it not only that's a nightmare. So I always am trying to, move forward and push forward. And that's always been an option I've wanted to try to have, just not with Velcro, man, because Velcro to me just looks awful. So I've had some irons in the fire trying to look at having that availability to where if you just buy one hat and then you can just come back and buy different patches, but it's just kind of trying to make it work. But we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out one way or the other.
Awesome. What do you got, Fred? Do you got, you're pointing at somebody.
I was pointing at you.
Do you have a turnout drill for this young lad?
I can, unless you want to do it.
I only have one question. I actually have 2 questions. One that I remember from what you asked and then my own question.
I got him.
Okay, go.
All right. We're going to do we don't have like a fancy like splash screen or like background music for it. It's just a turnout drill. We're going to ask you 5 questions and make you think.
All right, let's go.
So, one that we kind of ask everybody, it's kind of the one that's become a staple of ours, is if you could have lunch with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive? So this person would be alive, and it'd be Philip Knight. If you don't know who that is, that's the creator of Nike. It's one of the best books I've ever read in my life, and it's really what put me in this mode of trying to brand and things like that. But I'd love to sit down and just pick that dude's brain, man. Like, how did you know? How did you know to get on a plane in China and like, to take this ultimate risk? So yeah, that'd probably be my.
How did you just do it?
Yeah, how did you just do it?
I think his answer, Russell, would be, I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he did something, right? Maybe that was just scoring Michael Jordan back in the day. I don't know, but
right. Yeah.
All right. If you could have a theme song every time you walked into a room, what would it be?
Oh, theme song.
Thunderstruck.
I like that. It would probably be something from Leonard Skinner, man. Going back to my Southern roots, man. I'm a free bird. Like, I can listen to that all day, every day.
Oh, and then you've got like 9 minutes to just walk around the room.
100%, bro. And just rocking out.
He's still in the room.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'd probably be a Skinner playlist.
They hear that first chord. They're like, oh, great. Here comes Russell.
Yep. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Favorite Christmas movie?
Bro, I hope my wife watches this podcast because she absolutely hates this. And you guys are probably going to laugh at me, but it is the Polar Express, bro. I could watch it and freaking over.
Tom Hanks one?
Huh?
Tom Hanks one?
Yes, sir.
Hot chocolate?
All day. All day, bro. That is my jam.
Dude, there's a Polar Express ride that you can go in Arizona during Christmas time. You've been there?
Not Arizona. They've got one in North Carolina.
Okay.
Far from me. Yeah.
They have one in Williams, Arizona. It's pretty sweet. It was an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Kids loved it. I did too.
Did they dance and do backflips and give you hot chocolate?
Yeah, and a cookie, right? Cookie.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
So, do beans belong in chili?
In the South, it does, baby boy. Chili beans.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Now, when you're talking about chili with hot dogs,
now
I've had that. I've had that with the beans on an actual hot dog, but
that's coney sauce.
Yeah.
What was that? 4 of them? Let's see here. What's this last one? I'm gonna do 2 more. Does pineapple go on pizza?
Heck to the no.
Oh no!
Oh, dude, I'm so with you. Horrible. The worst. Fruit on pizza? Come on.
My wife tries to get me to eat that mess, and I'm like, nah, because
Canadian bacon and pineapple is the worst idea I think ever.
I'm sure Italian ancestors are like rolling over in their grave every time a pineapple goes on a pizza. Like,
I'm Italian.
Totally.
So you should know. It should be beaten into you. Like, hey, this does not need to happen.
All right, well, with that being said, what is your go-to recipe? If you had to make dinner for somebody and you had to impress them, what's your go-to?
So I've actually been talking to Nick on the background. I'm wanting to do a cooking vid with him. I've got a duck bog, man, that I'm just like, everybody at the firehouse loves it. If you don't know what a bog is, it's kind of like it's almost like jambalaya, just kind of without the spice. But man,
because he makes a chicken bog, right?
Yeah, chicken bog is what it's known for. Basically, all I do is replace the chicken with duck. I'm a big duck hunter, so like I try to bring them home every season, and yeah, that's kind of my claim to fame a little bit.
Nice,
awesome. That French toast.
Nice. Yes, why don't we do something a little different here to close this out? Not completely close, but we're gonna let Russell do the rookie tip this week. What's your tip for a rookie? I think I know exactly what you're gonna say, but
tip for the rookie, man. I'm gonna kind of take it back. My original business partner was the guy that he kind of got on my ass early when I was a rookie, and there was one of the things he always said to me that I took it to heart, and I tried my best to do this, but if your rookie time is a year, whatever it may be at your department, man, that is your year to shine, bro. Like, and I'm not saying kiss people's butt, but like, man, you walk by the trash, it's full. Like, nobody should have to ask you to take that out, right? You're going to make a store run or whatever. Like, there should be no reason you walk by and talk to every one of your guys before you walk out the door, bro. Like, it is your chance to make that impression on what kind of fireman you're going to be. Are you going to be a sleaze bag, another tool that we don't need, or you're gonna get with the brotherhood, keep tradition alive, like our slogan is. What are you gonna do, man? Who are you gonna be? Nobody can clean a toilet like me. Those are words to live by.
Don't be a dirtbag.
Yeah, don't be a douchebag.
All right, that's gonna close out the podcast. One thing we didn't do at the very beginning was a moment of silence, and we like to try to get that in on every podcast. We want to respect those that have taken the ultimate sacrifice. So just give us 5 seconds, will you?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right. That was very well said. Very good. Russell from Westbroad Apparel. I know you probably got a InstaFace, a Face Chat, a TikTok, all that. Is that correct? Is it all Westbroad?
It's all
Out on MySpace.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no like Westbroad 007 or.
No.
Okay.
We scooped them up early in the game, so we're just
Good.
Westbroad Apparel. Yeah, man.
All right. Cool. Everybody go out and get your apparel from Russell and his amazing side hustle, his little firefighter side hustle. Again, Russell, thank you for taking the time to be on the Cool Fireman podcast.
This is awesome.
Yeah. This will be out on whatever Friday. So tune in. Thanks for coming. It is shift change. Roll your pass alongs. Slap your firefighter on the butt and get the heck out of there because you need your day off. Adios.
Roll it, Gigi.
Before you leave, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give these firemen a huge thumbs up. Also, make sure you check out thecoolfireman.com for more. Thanks!